chatting, I'll just go ahead and be quiet and let you kick it off.
Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in today. How old are you guys? The young ones.
I'm 14.
14?
I'm 14.
You guys hanging in there during stay at home, getting too bored?
You got the wrong crew when it comes to board, Shaney Joe. Jessica's a party animal. Amelia's out changing the world a little at a time.
Awesome.
Gianna and Sienna are sisters, but they won't tell you that.
Oh, all right. Well, good to see all y'all. Thanks for joining us today.
I'm going to give you your official intro here in a second, Shaney Joe. We're going to let a couple more faces pop up here. And again, I definitely recommend having your chat open so you can comment amongst yourselves, and so that we can. Oh, there we go. You know who I'm interested in is going to join us today, Shelly? Is I hope Diego gets to hang out today because he was so much fun last time. He's just a goofball.
I was just thinking about him as well. It's like, where's Diego?
Oh, yeah.
Amelia, do you know Diego? No? He's not from your crew? All right. Well, let's kick this off. One of the things we like to do is find out where everyone is at, because there are a couple of faces that we don't recognize. In the chat right now, why don't you put your name and where you're located so we can get an idea of how all over the world we are.
Well, I noticed there's a not Diego here, so I don't.
That's Diego. Diego, we were hoping you would come in today, so we're glad to see you back, bro migo. That's right, Johnny in Roseville. That's right. Not Diego is. Oh, look at that. He's back. That's fun. Cool. Citrus Heights. That's right, Michaela. Oh, yeah. Rockland. Cool. Ishan. Rockland as well. Cool. We're spanning most of NorCal right now. That's awesome. Amelia's in Grass Valley. Cool. Amelia, I just got off the phone with someone from Grass Valley. Is there like a campground there that's like a glamping campground that people go to?
I'm not sure about glamping, but there's like campgrounds here, a lot of campgrounds.
Okay. Is there like a place where, I don't know, a bunch of tents are set up and like yurts with like a pizza kitchen in the middle? Does that ring a bell?
I'm sure, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Hi, this is Sharon. Yes, there is one. It's called the In-Town Campground.
That's what I thought. I've been there, and boy, isn't that a cool place?
It's right off of Railroad Avenue in Nevada City. And Aaron Michaels is the owner, one of our past students. And it's an unbelievable, amazing place to go. You can camp in a tent that they have on a, what do you call it, glamping. Mm-hmm. You could take your RV. It borders along a little creek, and you can walk to downtown Nevada City. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's what we did, is we walked downtown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a train and a railroad going through, right? Yeah.
Well, that's a nice little segue into introducing our guest for today. So our guest for today, everyone, welcome to our wrap-up edition of the Wellness Through Digital Connections series. I can't believe we've already done this 5 times, and I couldn't be happier to introduce Shaney Jo Darden. She is the perfect person to wrap this up for us. She has done so much. I don't even know that I can really give her a proper introduction, except to say, if you've ever heard someone say, or you've ever seen a bracelet that says, "I love boobies," Shaney Jo is the creator. So Shaney Jo, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what we're going to talk about today, and then we'll get into showing our first video for you.
Hi, my name is Shaney, and I'm the founder of Keep a Breast Foundation. And yes, as Scott mentioned, I created the I Love Boobies bracelet many, many, many years ago. These bracelets have been seen and worn by people all over the world, all in the name of breast cancer prevention and early detection. So as an organization, Keep Abreast, if you are at all familiar with us, we are totally different than any other breast cancer organization that is out there. We are punk rock, we are irreverent, and we want to educate young people about prevention and early detection. So yeah, that's me, and I look forward to talking more with you guys in the rest of this session.
Well, I do have to say, Shaney, you kind of just hit the tip of the iceberg there. One of the things I'm most excited about talking about today is that you've taken the concept of health and wellness and prevention, and you've really made it your own. So one of the things you were promised us today is that you would teach us how to be a do-gooder in 4 easy steps. Do you want to talk about that a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking a little bit more about that, but everyone can be a do-gooder. And it's one of the questions that young people ask me all the time. Shaney, I want to start a nonprofit. Shaney, I want to do this. What should I do? What should I do? And I'm like, well, it's not as hard as you think. You can start really small. And I have a zine that I made that you guys can all download on our website. So we're going to talk a little bit about this, and it's something you can like print out, take home, share with your friends, and learn how to be a do-gooder.
All right. Well, let's kick off with all the presenters send me a little bit of information about themselves before we do this. And I think this is the coolest video that we've seen so far. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my screen share. And Shaney Joe, I'll kick it back to you after we watch the Breast Cancer Meets Punk Rock introduction video. You ready?
Ready.
All right, here it comes, everybody. Let's make sure I got it right. Nod your head if you can see. Okay, looks like we're good. And here we go.
I just think it's a great cause. It's something that can, help a lot of people, a lot of young people. People aren't thinking about going and getting a mammogram, and there are times when I've been in the shower and I've gone, remember that time on Warped Tour when you said 3 fingers, squish your boob about, go in circles? It's just simple knowledge that helps, and I think it's something that a lot of us need to be equipped with in this day and age, and I love that someone's doing it.
Probably the best experience I've ever had on working with Keep Abreast is actually the first day of Warped Tour. This kid walks up to me with his hand sticking straight out, walks right into the tent, and was like, I just want to thank you. And I was like, what for? What did I do? I've never met this kid. And he's like, I just wanted to thank you because I brought my mom into your booth last summer on Warped Tour, and you guys showed her how to check herself, and had you not, she wouldn't be going through treatment right now.
I actually went through it with my mom, or went through the whole process of chemo and radiation and all of that stuff when I was about 15, which is about the same age that a lot of these kids are now. So I think it's especially important to me that, the educational process is happening for kids now. If having a bracelet that says I love boobies is going to get them to a place where we can talk to them and connect to them and make an impact, then so be it.
I found out about Keep Abreast because I kept seeing kids at school wearing the I Heart Boobies bracelets. The only thing I know about what Keep Abreast does is, from what I saw today, I saw the do-it-yourself breast exams and the stuff that they have here at the booth.
As someone personally affected by breast cancer, when I see a band making an active effort to help support any organization like this, I feel a deeper connection to what they're doing with their music and their art.
And I will listen to what Keep Abreast says more often because there is an influential band that I love advocating for them, and I think it's really cool that they're at Warped Tour together.
If they look up to us in any way and we're promoting a positive thing like that and telling them to listen to this stuff and look at this stuff, then that's really good. It's all positive things. It's just people looking out for each other, and that's really good.
I'm 16, and most people my age do feel that boobs are really taboo, and that breasts, they're not something that you talk about or think about a lot. But from Keep Abreast, I've learned that it's actually really important to be aware of yourself and to take care of yourself. And I feel like more people my age would really benefit from all the things that Keep Abreast has been teaching me personally about how boobs should not be taboo.
Being here and talking to these kids, like, not even just empowering the kids to do cool things, but to, like, for them to inspire their own parents to do it, it speaks a lot.
When I first started Keep Abreast 15 years ago, it was important for me to create an organization that spoke to young people. At that time, I was in my early 20s and nobody was talking to me about breast health. And I felt that there was so many organizations out there that were about the cure and were about after cancer. And I wanted to do something different that was DIY, that was punk rock, that was educating my peers, my friends about their health. That's why Keep Abreast is the type of organization that it is, and that's where we will always stay. We always want to talk to communities that traditionally aren't talked to about this disease, and young people is why we're here right now, because we can educate them before this disease starts. We can teach them about early detection. We can teach them how to live a non-toxic lifestyle, and ultimately, we will be saving lives, one life at a time, one experience at a time, one family at a time. It all makes a difference.
Yay, Shaney, everybody. This is how we give love on our programs here. I don't know how to follow that up except to say, whew, I've been to Warped Tour probably 15 times, and I remember seeing that. I mean, I'm old and crusty now, but so tell me, Shaney Joy, I love boobies. How do we follow up such an incredible video with the girl crying, and it just means so much.
Yeah, I mean, that video is really emotional. We filmed a series of videos 5 years ago. That was for our 15th anniversary. And this year we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. So to be doing this for 20 years and to have the support from all of you, and also to be able to look back and see the impact we've made is really emotional. And especially from all the people in that video, my team, all the young people, you know, we've affected so many lives.
Well, there's another large group of people here that have now seen that are aware of it. Let's call on some of our participants now to get some reactions on how they're feeling from watching that video. So let's see. Riley, welcome. Glad to see you there. Jessica, you've been a friendly face on our casts here. What emotions does that video bring up for you?
I think it's really good that you're trying to help, because you said that your organization is different. Instead of trying to help people after they've had cancer or some illness, you're trying to help prevent it. And I think that's really a really good thing. And I don't know, I think just keep doing what you're doing, and I think you are probably making an impact in a lot of people's lives. And so thank you, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see, who else is one of our... Amelia, you get to talk to Shaney right now. How cool is that?
Oh, well, I thought I basically agree with Riley just said. I really like the concept of teaching someone how to do it themselves. If they're they don't think they need to go to the doctor about it, they can just be oh, well, I can just see if I can do it here. Or just trying to get them to just do the checkup is a great way to help people out, and it's helping people, and it's nice.
Well, Shaney Jo, why don't you give us a little background on why you started Keep Abreast in the first place?
Yeah, and I think just before to touch on what Amelia said, that's one of the reasons why we have been on the Warped Tour for so many years, is to have this face-to-face interaction with young people, with someone who looks like them. So you could see the girls in my booth, they have orange hair, they look young, they are young. And so it's not like a nurse at a health fair with a little nurse's outfit on, you know, it's not as inviting to you. It's not inviting you into the booth, and then the information that we make, you know, things like this that you might find in your nurse's office. We design ours in a cool way. So you want to take it home with you. You want to read it. The language, you know, talks about your attitude and taking action and being aware. So it's not this like scary thing. And we also have, which we'll talk more about, an app, which also gives all of you access to breast health information right now, tonight, in your home. You can download it, you can share it with your friends, you can show it to your parents. And yeah, so thank you for that. And that's why our approach is so important, is that we are relatable, and we work with bands and artists and, you know, brands, cool brands that you guys are interested in, to draw you into something that is serious. It's not fun to talk about, you know, who wakes up every day and says, I want to learn about breast cancer today. So we try to do it in a cool way.
Well, when I think about cool, I mean, you seem pretty cool to me. I mean, anybody's got a couple of tattoos, a big smile, and a you know, a powerful message like this, we think you're pretty cool. So tell us a little bit. One day you were being cool, and you said, "Hey, I want to start this thing."
One day I was just being cool. I used to work as a clothing designer for skateboard companies. And I went to fashion school, and I was producing exhibitions with all the artists in the skateboard industry. And one of those artists, her name was Margaret Kilgallen, had breast cancer. And this was 20 years ago. So back then, you know, this before y'all were born, there was no like GoFundMe. There was no kind of digital way to help her. There was no way to raise money for her, and everything was like old lady, pink ribbons, going on walks wearing tutus for 3 days, and that wasn't anything that I was about to go do. So because I worked with so many artists, I decided to do an art show to raise money for her, and also to tie together the idea of philanthropy, but also with breast health. And so as you can see these casts, I started making these. So I've been making these for 20 years. I've made over maybe 1,500 of them. And so I make this cast directly on the body, and then we have artists paint them, and we exhibit them and auction them. So that was really the very, very beginning of Keep a Breast. I was like, I want to help my friend. I'm going to do an art show. I'm going to raise some money. I'm going to give it to her. And that was it. And then there's like, this one is super cool. This one you can see she only has one breast. So I had done her cast after she had had one of her breasts removed from her breast cancer. And it's almost as if the breast is even there, the way the artist did the art. It's so cool. So yeah, that's how it started. Just a one-time event. I never in a million years thought I would be doing this for 20 years. And I never ever thought I would travel all over the world and like do this work and do this education. I mean, we're working in Africa, in Mexico, in Canada, I mean, in Prague, in Paris, and at like Hawaii. I mean, we've done things everywhere, and it's all because it was authentic, it was meaningful, it was unique, it hadn't been done before, and it was done from the heart. It was like something that was true. And then we just grew after that. The next year we started working, the Warped Tour heard about what we were doing. They invited us to come on tour, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll leave my job for the summer and go on Warped Tour. And then just little by little, it just kept growing and growing.
Well, when I picture you, I kind of picture you as like this larger than life, like a rock star. Like here you are designing this cool clothing and stuff. And I'm sure your family kind of knew that you had something in you. What you all don't know, which I think is pretty neat, is one of Shaney's family members is here with us today. So Shelly, what was it like? I mean, you had to know that Shaney had something incredible within her. Tell us a little bit about being her family member.
Oh gosh, are you kidding me? Ever since she was a tiny little thing and I used to babysit and change her diapers, of course I knew she was special. But my favorite niece, and yeah, I'm just I'm beyond proud of her, and she knows that. She knows how much I love her, and everybody in the family does. So I was so beyond excited to have her come and share. I just know, like, her, I'm just proud of all that you do to make the world a better place. I know how much your positive energy and just everything that you share with the world is all about love, and it's contagious, you know, and you know, it's exciting to see what you've done. It's amazing. Just, you know, taking your passion for art and health and for the people that you care about and turning it into this global movement is like just incredible, you know, and I just wanted to have an opportunity to share it with my communities. Because I thought, gosh, I've been keeping her all to myself all these years. I need to share her. And, but no, I know you're out there. And so now more people know. And, you know, I also, you know, along the way, because it's so much a part of who you are and what you do, you know, you're caring about health and breast health, but the environment. You know, Mother Earth, our Earth, this place that we all live, our planet, and how important it is to you, to so many of us here on the session today. A lot of these young people are really, really concerned about protecting our environment too. I know that. I've talked to a few of them about that. And so Non-Toxic Revolution is really about, it's about a lot of things, and you can talk about it better than I, but, you know, just in fact, why don't you share a little bit about Non-Toxic Revolution?
Thanks, Shell. Thanks for always being my babysitter, taking me to the beach when I was a kid. But there's a fact, and it's a big fact, but it's a fact that most people don't know. And the fact is that only 10%, so that's small, only 10% of new cancer diagnosis is related to your family history. So most people out there, conversations that you're gonna have, you'd be like, oh, my mom's been through cancer, my aunt's been through cancer, or it doesn't run in my family, I'm good. So when I learned about that, I was like, okay, well, there's 90%, what's going on there? So the other 90% of people who are being diagnosed with breast cancer are related to the environmental links to causing cancer. So when I started learning about this and reading about this, my mind was blown. I was like, what? The environment causes breast cancer? What the hell? So I started reading and researching more and more and learning more about our everyday exposures that build up over time. So things that you may be using in your home, cleaning products, beauty products, the bed you sleep on, all kinds of different things, where you live. Maybe you live next to someplace that is like a toxic area. So all these things, you know, these companies, they aren't regulated, and they aren't regulated in the ingredients and how they put them together. So the thing is maybe you're gonna have a small exposure because you're using a chemical here and there, but teenagers, your bodies are more susceptible to these things while you're growing, while you're developing. So it's all of these things over a period of time, right? These small exposures on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other create a huge risk. So because of that, we started a program called Non-Toxic Revolution, because this is a scary topic. It sucks. Who wants to like go through their makeup bag in their kitchen and all these things? It's really hard. It's hard to read these chemicals. So we started a program that basically makes this easy for you. One thing you can do, little things you can do over the course of time that is ultimately going to lower your risk and your exposure to these chemicals that are linked to causing cancer.
You know, your segue was just wonderful there, Shaney Joe. I like how you took something that was initially like, okay, interesting and powerful, and you've got so much going on, and then you said, yeah, but I found out more information. and it just continued to fuel you until now you end up giving so freely of this. I'm going to do a screen share and show your website, the Non-Toxic Revolution. The thing I'm most fascinated with is you've got these guides for people. You make it so easy to not just go through your makeup bag, as in, I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I definitely use products on my face. I was fascinated to find out that some of those products are probably not in my best interest to be using. So why don't you walk us through what we've got coming up on the screen here, and I'll be your mouse for you.
Yeah, this is just a cool section. When you have time, you can check out on the Non-Toxic Revolution website. This first guide is called Open This Pit Up, which we created for the Warped Tour because circle pits, punk rock, you know, play on words. But it's about deodorant. So the deodorant you use is really important because that's where your lymphatic system is. This is where the majority of breast tumors are found. So it's important to use a non-toxic deodorant, and there's just some good tips there. We also have a hair dye guide. Dyeing our hair isn't as popular these days as it was a few years ago. But there's different things about hair dye, and these dyes, you know, your scalp is absorbing all these chemicals. And so you want to be sure you're choosing something that isn't hurting you. Same thing with sunscreen. Sunscreen can be really bad for your body. It can be, the sprays can be bad for the people around you and also for the coral reefs. So it's just small things that you can learn that really empower your purchasing power, the decisions you make, and also affect your whole family.
So what I also like about this page is that you made it very, very clear right up here on top. You've got the home and the mission. I like that you broke it down into areas of the body, you know, the things that can be affecting your mouth, other areas of your body, your house, your life, and then of course the take action stuff. So if you all can't tell, this is just very, very well put together. Can you talk to us for a second, Shaney, about, we've got a bunch of, I mean, I've gotten to know Amelia and Sienna and John just a little bit through here. It feels like there's just so much going on right now with COVID, with so much information coming at us. Can you talk about finding good information and using it to change your life little by little?
Oof, I mean, that's a tough question, and that's a tough conversation, and we have to, for me specifically, I mean, I meditate every morning. I do breath work every morning. You know, I try to put like a force field around myself of just protection, of, you know, bad vibes, all kinds of things, you know, because we are sensitive. We are like energetic bodies. And with, you know, bad news coming at us left and right, there's, it creates a lot of anxiety and fear. So it is really important to take care of yourself. We do have a cool blog. I will throw it in the chat about some self-care resources, things you can do now and always. But I just say do what you like doing, whether it's going for a walk. I mean, I walk with my big old dog every day. Dancing. I just started this crazy dance program, and I'm so a dorky dancer, but I needed to like move my body in a way that I hadn't been moving it. So I'm just going for it and dorking out on it. But yeah, it's important. And I hope I answered your question. That's a tough
It is. Well, I hope you didn't think this was going to be easy. We hold a pretty high standard around here, Shaney, and you're doing great. I do have one of my homies, Anika. Are you ready for us? Anika, unmute yourself. Anika, what are the things that you do to do self-care? How do you take care of yourself?
Like on a daily basis?
Sure.
Well, I make sure that like I'm eating healthy foods, and I make sure that I like exercise every day, like even like during break, like the carno break, because if I don't, then it can be like harmful to my body. And I make sure that I get enough sleep every day, so I'm not like super tired when I wake up.
What do you think, Shaney? Is that a pretty good start?
Yeah, those are good. I mean, we always say food is medicine. So the foods you eat are definitely really important to your energy, your overall health, and sleep is where you heal. That's the time that your body needs to heal everything going on with it.
You know, another person we've gotten to know pretty well here is Gianna. Gianna, what are the things that you do for self-care?
One of the things is definitely showering every day, because I don't know if any people in the world like don't shower every day, which is kind of gross. And then definitely moisturizing your body so it's not dry. Not excessively eating. That's basically it.
All right.
That's good.
Well, you know, my first thought is this brings me awareness when you're like, Gianna, you know, I use moisturizer every day. My first thought now is like, I wonder what my skin is. I wonder if my moisturizer is helpful or harmful. Shaney, can you talk about moisturizer for a second? Because I think we can all relate to needing some form of moisturizing somewhere.
Yeah, it's an important topic. Your skin, another good fun fact, your skin is your largest organ. So think about that. Anything you put on your body is just as important as the food that you're eating because your skin is absorbing that. So you definitely want to look for moisturizers that are non-toxic.
Can you talk about this? I mean, I consider myself like a dude. And so the conversation I have about moisturizer isn't always like, oh, I like the sun-ripened raspberry or the twilight nudes. Or that we got a couple of guys on here that are young. Diego, I can imagine you are the moisturizer king or something like that. Diego, do you want to give us a little bit about your self-care? What do you do to take care of yourself, amigo? I just thought about it. He might not actually be there because it says he's not there.
No.
He's talking in the chat. He said
Okay.
nope.
Nope. All right, he's not interested.
I mean, guys use, a lot of them use Axe. You know, it's really popular. That stuff is so bad. But like, guys use body wash. Guys use body spray. They use deodorant. They use, like, Scott, I know you do your hair. You use some kind of something in the hair. They use toothpaste. They use face wash. They use moisturizer. You know, guys definitely use, you think guys just get in there and barely use soap, but it's not true. Guys actually use a lot of products too, and it's a challenge. Maybe something you guys can do tomorrow. I mean, right now with COVID, it's not the same, but when you wake up in the morning, count how many products you're using on a daily basis. Soap, shaving cream, perfume. Today I put on makeup for you guys, so you know I have like 5 different things on my face right now.
But one thing that I think, I wouldn't let this hour go by without talking about the difference between, like, men have to take breast cancer seriously as well. Can you give us a little bit about that? I know it's a weird topic, but I'd like to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, at Keep a Breast, we always say that breast cancer is something that happens to the entire family. So it's not just the person who's diagnosed, it's everyone around them, because automatically your family becomes your cancer team, you know, your co-survivors, your caregivers. So there's a lot of different things that are happening in the family unit where everyone needs support. Everyone has different feelings. If any of you here have gone through having a loved one being diagnosed with breast cancer, you have a feeling of fear, anxiety, maybe not knowing what to do. So there's a lot of different resources for the whole family. And for guys specifically, men can get breast cancer. It is not super common, but it happens. I'm sure everyone's familiar with the rock band Kiss. The drummer of Kiss had breast cancer. So there have been some famous guys out there who have been outspoken about this. And boys, like men, also have breast tissue. So it's important if you are, you know, in the identifying as a male or a female, to, if you do feel something as a guy that doesn't feel normal, to get it checked out, to tell someone, to tell your doctor. And also, another fun fact, around half the time, it's a partner that would detect a lump in their partner's breasts. So a lot of times someone's, partner may be spending more time with their boobs than the individual is. So I've heard so many times that, boyfriends, husbands, partners have been the ones that actually are like, whoa, what's that? What's going on there? I didn't feel that before. So it's, as Sabrine in the Warped Tour video was saying about breast being taboo, it's something that you should be able to talk about with your partner too.
Well, I've got a conversation with my wife coming up. She's already been affected, and she had to go in and get some treatments done and some pretty powerful things. So I was really appreciating that you could open up that conversation today, because as a guy, it's kind of weird to be like, hey everybody, I want to talk about breast cancer. So I appreciate you kind of opening that up. Let's segue a little bit here, everyone. Another thing that I think we can all connect around right now as we shelter in place is, I've heard a lot of people talk about investing in the meals that they're making, in food, and finding ways to enjoy their meals a little bit. Shaney, you talked about food as fuel. You want to talk about some of the resources that you put together for us?
Yes, absolutely. So I love food. I love eating. And I think it's important. Sometimes, like when you eat something really healthy, you just feel good and you feel energized. And that's your body telling you, like, thank you for that broccoli. That was so good. So we have a cool series that we just launched 2 weeks ago on Non-Toxic Revolution that are some fun vegan summer recipes. We do promote a vegan diet, and for many reasons. And so you can check out these recipes, you can print them out, you can try them at home. We're doing it with a bunch of different like vegan influencers that are Instagram influencers. And yeah, we just posted one for a sugar-free strawberry lemonade, which is really delicious. And then last week it was like a barbecued Hawaiian pineapple rice mushroom stir fry that was really good. They're all pretty easy. There's a tofu scramble. So there's things you can like cook for yourself or your family, and just try something new. Oh, there you go. Scott's got it up there.
Yeah, I brought it up for us here. They say that we eat with our eyes first. When I look at this, I'm like, man, that looks really tasty.
Yeah, you want to dive into that.
Vegan mushroom barbecue. I'm kind of impressed that we would combine pineapple and mushrooms. That's pretty
I like
neat.
pineapple on my pizza. That's good.
Oh yeah. And so it looks like you've got other folks that are experts that are submitting this content. You want to talk about how this has like brought so many people together?
Yeah, so with these, influence, this woman with Carrington, this is her recipe. So it's an opportunity for us to just, with everyone at Stay at Home, to give people fun things to do, to work with different like vegan influencers that are like our friends, and can be like, hey, what are you doing? Can you do a recipe for us this week? Because, as a nonprofit, we're always asking for people to do things for us. You guys know what that's like. So yeah, that's that.
So out of all of these, which are the ones that you have that you've made personally?
I've personally made the breakfast scramble.
Okay.
I made that a couple weeks ago when we launched it, and it was really good. And I'm an egg lover. Like an egg is just one of those things that like my body really loves. But this one is, vegan, so sans eggs, and it was delicious.
Well, I gotta say, when I was looking all this over, meal prepping is one of the things that I recommend folks do because it's so cheap, it's easy, and as you all get a little older, Easy Mac gets less tasty. So eventually, this is a skill that really ends up not just saving you money, but keeping you healthier over time. So I love how you have it all broken out right here about, showing all the benefits of using recyclable and sustainable containers. I just can't say enough that if this information was given to me younger in my life, I would have, I can't imagine how many different containers and how much plastic I would have saved. So,
and that's kind of the whole point, was when I started Keep Abreast originally 20 years ago, I was like, no one is talking to my friends about this. I could do this. I can take this information that they're giving only to women that are like 40 and 50, and I can take it to the young audience. Same thing with Non-Toxic Revolution. All the information came from this massive scientific report. And I was like, there is no way teenagers are going to be reading these scientific reports on the weekend for fun. I know I can take this information and break it down and give it to a younger audience in a new way that is fun and educational and creates action.
Let's start talking about creating action. As I look across the top of my screen right here, I see Amelia and Serena, and as much as Diego is a little bit of a character, he's a powerful dude that's got so much to offer the world. Same with Sienna and some of the other folks that I can't see your faces, but if you're here, you're a world changer. So let's talk a little bit about what it takes to be a world changer and what your recommendations are. Where do we start? And take it from there.
Okay, well, that's about the zine. So we'll send you guys the link. Scott and Shelly will send it to you. You can download it. But I think it's something that a lot of people, especially now, feel overwhelmed about. What to do, how they can do good, and if you're stuck in your house, what can you do? And I think that's really the first step. Step one is called soul search. And so it's really taking a moment to ask yourself deeply, what do you love? What do you care about? What have you been personally affected by in your life? And one of the things that also works for me is what really pisses you off? What makes you so mad that you want to do something to make a change? And it could be recycling, it could be, the environment, it could be, really anything. And then just kind of choosing what is that thing that you're willing to put your time and energy into. So
well, let's take some call outs on that first. I really like how you posed that. What pisses you off? Let's see.
Who's pissed?
Yeah, who's pissed off?
Who's pissed off?
Let's see. Let's hear from Amelia. I know that she's a powerful human. Amelia, what pisses you off? And what when you soul search, what's the thing that you're going to help change the world with?
Well, something that pisses me off, I guess, is just when people just try their hardest to be rude to people. Because it's just you're trying hard to just be mean when you can just not do that, just be quiet instead. And so I just feel that's something people can stop doing. That makes me angry. And yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the next question is, if that makes you mad, well, what are you going to do about it? Don't answer right now. I have a feeling that's step 2. So let's call on our homie Sienna. Sienna, where are you at?
Right here.
Sienna, what pisses you off?
Oh my gosh, a bunch of things actually. I mean, when I was in school, actually, a lot of people would be they would be trying to make me mad by saying rude things and trying to put me down, and really actually made me the worst. When I was having a bad day, there would be boys asking out girls just for the joke of it when they didn't even like that girl, and that would make me so mad. I wanted to go up to them, slap them, but I didn't want to get in trouble. But I just wanted to do something about it, and that's not right for you to go up to somebody and ask them out and just do it for the joke, and your friends wanted you to do it. That what makes me mad the most.
All right, stay tuned. I think Shaney's going to have some suggestions for you. Riley, You've been so quiet. Riley, what pisses you off?
Okay. Well, what pisses me off is mostly when like people when people get into an argument and then they try to say things about each other, but then they both know that it's not true. So basically they're lying about things about each other to like get a point across or whatever. That's mostly what gets on my nerves a lot.
Okay. Well, let's see if Shaney has some suggestions for you.
Thank you guys for sharing all those things and being vulnerable. And your kind of themes are similar, right? About like lies and people being mean and, you know, groups of people being mean together. And I think, you know, something that Amelia just said was like, be quiet instead. Like, that sounds like a cool Instagram to me. Like, be quiet instead, and you can have a whole movement around just, instead of reacting and being, you know, mean, just be quiet. Like, take a moment and maybe ask yourself why you're being mean. Encouraging people to do that. And then, well, so step 2, moving on, is called research. So once you kind of find something that you feel like you're passionate about or mad about, you know, start doing research and seeing if there is anyone in your community already doing something like that you can, you know, volunteer for them, you can learn from them, you can be a part of something that's already been started. So research. We all have, you know, the world at our fingertips these days. And then if you don't want to do it with something that exists, you can start it on your own. So starting to ask yourself those research questions. If I wanted to start a movement around stillness and being quiet instead of being mean, what do I want to do first? Do I want to make a zine and pass it out to people at my school? Do I want to make an Instagram about it? Do I want to, you know, interview people? So do as much research as you can on the particular topic at hand.
Well, while you're, so we've got this little chat going on, and like I said, there's some powerful people on here, Shaney. Diego, who's not actually here, he was private messaged me, and he's like, he doesn't like it when people throw trash on the ground. Like, why? I mean, it's so easy not to do that. Do you have any, I mean, research-wise, there's so many groups out there that are like, hey, I organize with these other people to recycle and do these things. Do you have anything for him specifically? Like, what can he do?
Yeah, I mean, I used to live in this, by the beach in Oceanside, and I lived by an elementary school. And every day the kids walking back and forth from school would put trash everywhere. On my lawn, all down the street, chip bags, cookie bags, whatever, fruit roll-up bags. And so I just made like a sign for my own front yard with like some poop bags attached to it. That's like, please pick up your trash. Please don't litter in this neighborhood. This is your neighborhood. So even if you're only activating on your street, like, that's a great place to start.
Yeah, Lyndon went for the big picture. It says, didn't want to interject, but I really like the tip about picking one thing to focus your energy on. Super angry about the state of the environment, social justice, and the polarization of our country. There's so many right now for me. So remembering to dive into only one is really helpful. So thank you, Lyndon, for kicking that out there.
Absolutely.
Let's roll on to step 3, Shaney.
So step 3 is to meet up. And we redid this, so we added virtually. So if you do want to volunteer with a group or someone that you want to mentor you through this process, you need to meet up with them. Because if you are going to embark on doing something eventually that could be huge, you want to work with people that you like, work with people that you respect, work with people that you think have good ideas, work with people that you think have time for you, that want to, you know, be a part of what you're doing. So it's important to, once you choose a cause you want to support, get to know that cause, get to know their motives, just get to know more about them. So meet up and become friends. So you want to soul search, then you want to do your research, then you want to meet up and take some action steps on these 2 first steps.
All right, we've got Serena is looking pretty excited to share right now. Serena, we've given you an opportunity to think about what upsets you, and then we now we're at the point where, okay, you've done your research and you're going to start organizing others. Can you think of some people in your social group that you would bring together to help you with your cause?
Yeah, I was thinking like some friends at school or like some of the people in my neighborhood who also care about the cause. I could try to get them together and try to organize like a meeting or like a Zoom call or something to like talk about the issue.
What do you think, Shaney? You think she's got it?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. And it could even just be an issue that's happening in your neighborhood. And, like you see right now, people have Black Lives Matter signs on their front lawn. And then the person across the street from them has a Trump sign. And it's creating like drama in a neighborhood. So uniting with your neighborhood is important. And your friends.
Yeah, I definitely agree that, and this is from one of our previous conversations, Shaney, is Jeremy Bates, who is the hope dealer. He was talking about comedy and how important it is for comedians to hang around with other comedians because they just get each other at a little bit different level. Do you have people in your life that just get you?
I'm pretty weird. But I do. Of course I do. And those are the people, that are your like emergency hotline, I'm freaking out. What should I do?
Well, I think the reason I'm laughing so hard is because I'm weird too. Shelley's dying up there because she knows the next person I'm gonna be like, you know who's also weird and awesome? Is Serenity. Just saying. So it's glad to be amongst a bunch of other weirdos. Let's wrap up step 4 for us, Shane.
All right. Well, step 4 is the best step. Step 4 is have fun. So what good is doing all of this stuff if you're not having fun and your heart and your soul isn't connected to why you're doing it in the first place? So make sure, even though most of the things that we love or that we're pissed off about are serious things, like serious things that need like big changes. Right now, our whole world is changing in front of our eyes, and we all have an opportunity to be a part of that in some way. But have fun while you're doing it. Make it joyous. Make it like feel your purpose in doing it, and that's the gift in everything.
Yeah, I see that. I've got everybody at the top of my screen, and I see Shelley right now just smiling and nodding her head. One of the themes that we've noticed is that some of the folks that are a little bit older, wink, nudge, if we could talk to the younger version of ourselves, we would say, we would give the advice that's closest to our heart. And that's the one that I think resonates with me the most. Is I don't know about you all, but I tend to take things a little seriously sometimes. So I really appreciate that. Riley's over there like, what's up? That's me. Thank you so much, Shaney, for reminding us to have fun, which I think we're kind of enjoying ourselves right now. So
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I know for me, because we're talking about like really serious things and things we're passionate about, and there's a lot of angst and just a lot of energies going on in the world. And I love how you talk about amusement, about having fun. And I know for me, I can get pretty, into something. But what gets me out of that funk, I should say, is amusement. Like if I'm challenging my husband on something, a chore or something that's going on or whatever, and one of us cracks a joke, it lightens the mood. Everybody's, it just kind of breaks that environment and just makes everything lighter and more joyous.
Yep.
Well, now that I think about it, that's how we all got to know each other. Serenity and Shelley, is that we showed up to do something wonderful for youth, and then we ended up connecting because we're all a little weird, and we all care so much. So meanwhile, over on the side right now, Diego, you really have this incredible ability to just kind of drop a statement and then just let it simmer. And what I love what you said is, we're not born, we're born and meant not to blend in, but to stand out. And I think that Shaney, I think you really do a great job of demonstrating that all for us. So all of you on the call right now, Shaney, Joe, thank you so much for being your authentic self, which gives us permission to do the same.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. It was really a joy.
So Shaney, Joe, everybody's gonna jump on the links that you've sent us and really dig into some of the incredible things that you've done. Can you give us give us a to-do list after this? We're gonna leave and we're gonna go check out some of your stuff. Where do we start? Because there's so much.
Oh my God, you guys, you have a million to-do lists already in your life. I don't want to give you another one. But if you are on Instagram or Facebook, just follow Keep Abreast. And you could just go follow our journey, be a part of what we're doing. We always need supporters virtually. There's always ways to get involved. You can hit me up on Instagram or email anytime. And yeah, no homework. Just, we went over so much, and whatever you feel called, whatever, from this conversation is the one thing that maybe interests you the most, whether it's the zine, whether it's the sunscreen guide, whether it's our app. I mean, we talked about so many things. Just pick one.
That feels like pretty good advice. I think this is the second time she's told us in this meeting, just pick one thing.
Just pick one.
And focus on that. And so let's go ahead and that's our formal time frame for the last of our connection through digital, whatever those words are. I'm going to go ahead and turn off.
I have something to say.
You're up, Shelly.
I have been trying to find a time to jump in here, but everything, it's been so amazing. All of the conversation and the way everybody's been engaging around this. I knew that you were going to inspire a lot of this. I'm so happy. But I wanted to tell everybody that's on here, each of you don't be surprised if you hear from us to say that you're going to win some swag from Keep Abreast and Non-Toxic Revolution. So Shaney sent this huge box of swag, cool stuff like backpacks, water bottles, bracelets, all this really cool stuff. And what we've been doing is following chat from the beginning of session 1 to the end of this last session, sadly, or the end of our Wellness Through Connection. And we've been just noticing all the people that are, repeats, that are engaging and interacting, and that's all of you that are on here. So I just want you all to not be surprised if you hear from us saying we have something special for you. And thank you to Shaney for the huge box of goodies. And trust me, the stuff from Shaney is always the coolest stuff. But Christmas time in our family, Shaney comes with boxes of the coolest stuff ever for all of us. So anyway, I just want to mention that.
Yep, lots of swag for you guys.
Yeah.
I think everybody likes free stuff, and especially if it's got this. Thank you so much for connecting us with that. And I think what I'll do is,
can I say something?
Yeah, jump in.
Can I say?
It's
so I wanted to add. Yeah, well, I wanted to add that after this session, you're going to be getting an email from us that'll have an evaluation in it for you to say how you liked it, what you, if you want to see different things next time or whatever. So just keep an eye out for that. And we'll probably ask for contact information to be able to send you your prizes. So just keep an eye out for an email from us.
That's Renee. She's somewhere in Oklahoma right now, right, Renee?
Yeah, we just made it to Oklahoma. Yep.
That's pretty neat. Thank you, Renee, for reminding us about that. there's so, like you said, Shaney, there's so much to get into, right?
There's a lot.
Well, what I'll go ahead and do now is I'll stop our recording and I'll let you all jump into what I would consider is the after show. Like I know Amelia wanted to ask a couple of specific questions of you, Shaney, that may not fit within the programming. So thank you everybody for being with us through this journey. All of it is going to be available for you afterwards because everything's been recorded. And I just can't say thank you enough for allowing me to be your host. I'm honored beyond words. So,
thanks, guys.
Now we are free.